with my appointee for Secretary of State, Lavon Griffin-Valade. And with me today is also for the swearing in, Chief Justice Megan Flynn, who will do the oath of office. This kind of transition, I think, is a hallmark of our democracy. And by exercising my constitutional powers to make sure we have someone who can lead a state office with integrity and transparency and restore confidence in that office is very critical at this moment. Before I move into the swearing in, I also just want to say that I want to thank Lavon's family, Tom, all of her family that's here today, and her extended family and friends. When people step up for the call of public service, it is definitely a family affair. Folks are changing their lives to serve the state, and I very much appreciate Lavon for saying yes to this appointment. She's the right person for the job. I'm so excited to see her leadership in the Secretary of State, and it's a good day for Oregon. So with that, we'll proceed to the swearing in and then a few remarks from our soon-to-be Secretary of State. So.
At this point, if any members do you have anyone in particular you want to join you up here?
Oh, isn't he cute?
All right, raise your right hand. I, Lavon Griffin-Valade,
I, Lavon Griffin-Valade,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Secretary of State
the duties of Secretary of State
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There almost wasn't enough room on this document to get that long name. Okay. Okay. Just in case. I am deeply honored by this profound and unexpected opportunity to serve Oregonians as their Secretary of State. I was born and raised in John Day, Oregon. My father worked as a truck driver delivering freight to merchants in town, and my mother was a lathe operator at a veneer plant. They passed away a number of years ago, but I just have to say this. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for teaching me the values of working hard and being honest, fair, and open to new challenges. I was a government auditor for the better part of 2 decades, examining government operations and reporting to the public on what works and what doesn't. First as an auditor on staff at the Multnomah County Auditor's Office, and then as the elected auditor of Multnomah County. I went on to serve as the elected Portland City Auditor, a position with responsibilities similar to some of the functions in the purview of the Secretary of State's office. Those were city elections, audits, and archives. Now, some years later, I've been asked to step into the position of Oregon's Secretary of State. It is truly, truly an honor, and one I don't take lightly. But just as importantly, my goal in taking on this role is to renew the public's faith in this significant responsibility. and in the responsibilities carried out by this office. I want to thank Governor Kotek, her staff, and the folks in the Secretary of State's office for their assistance. I also want to thank my wonderful, level-headed husband of 41 years come July 3rd. And I want to thank my children, Sean, Amy, Alexis, Kai, and daughter-in-law Hannah, for their support and faith in me. By the way, 3 of my kids are here today, along with their godmother, Rosie. 3 of my grandchildren, Logan, Piper, and Zio, are also here to celebrate their granny. I'd also like to give a shout out to my family in Eastern Oregon and thank all of my friends here today. Thank you. Finally, I can't thank photographers Anise Atto and Julie Keefe enough. That's it.
I noticed you are a published author, so does that mean that future statewide office holders also have to be published authors?
Oh, that would be great, I think. Of course not. And, that
The serious question is, what, after 16 years in the publishing business, you chose
Yeah.
to advance through the fine arts and go into writing and publish 4 books?
So it was always a dream of mine to become a writer. And often throughout, not my auditing career, but throughout my life, I've written poetry, short stories. A couple of the short stories have been published. And it was just the thing that I needed to do at that time in my life, was to get the MFA and do what I could do to develop and write a really good series of fiction novels. By the way, they're set, oh, I think I said this already, but they're set in Eastern Oregon, where I grew up.
What convinced you to come back from that to this big role?
Well, as a trained and seasoned government performance auditor, I plan on getting in there to understand what's working and what's not working. I expect to be briefed by the hardworking folks in the Secretary of State's office before making a statement about that issue, or about what I know and don't know about the Secretary of State's office. I can say that I plan to deliver decisions that uphold the law, that best serve Oregonians, and that rebuild faith in the office.
So I'm going to ask that another auditor
If that's possible, I will. That is a matter that I'm going to be looking into as soon as I'm there to do that.
do you plan on running for this office?
No,
Because
I haven't given it another thought or a thought.
Did you approach the governor's office about doing this, or did they approach you?
Well, I was quite surprised when the governor called and we began discussions about the possibility of me becoming the Secretary of State. So she reached out to me.
major election decisions, Senate Republicans requested a decision. Sometimes it's in the office, enforcing measure 113. What's going to be your approach to elections? Your predecessor really spent her time on kind of public awareness campaigns to change across elections year. What's your approach?
Well, that is a good idea, to spend some time on pressing elections. Well, I really need to understand exactly what happened and get in there and figure out uh, how how that happened, and that's using my expertise as an auditor and my, I don't know, gravitas as someone who is honest but fair, genuine, um, capable, knowledgeable. I think the audit will, excuse me, I think the Secretary of State's office will be able to project an image because of that, because I'm there, because that's my ethic uh, of, of, of being honest and fair um, and doing their jobs. I've observed election workers, did an audit of the Multnomah County Elections Office in a very tough elections year, and I was very impressed with the elections workers there. They do their jobs, whatever party they may be affiliated with. They are hard workers and they are dedicated to making sure that the election process is honest, fair, and um, well, honest and fair.
Talking a little bit about your goal of this facing the process, and can you just a little bit more detail what you expect today is and then what your special
Well, I think the first thing I need to do is meet with staff, uh, get a sense of everybody's work, what they're doing now, what they've done in the past, what their credentials are, what they hope to achieve by, in particular, audits. And then in the elections office, there are going to be some things that I have to attend to right away that I will need some expertise and legal expertise to tap into. And
Terry, what are you going to bring in? You have important Multnomah County. What are you going to take from that time as an auditor? Like, right? What do you bring in that experience?
well, I don't know if it's apparent, but auditing the city of Portland is very difficult. And that is because of all of the different, well, not just the different bureaus, but the sort of holes people go down to in order to to avoid transparency, and that is a real problem in that organization. Hopefully, the previous auditor or the auditor who replaced me was able to do some fixing of that very problem. And so I think I bring that kind of work ethic, that kind of care for transparency and doing the right thing for the public and serving our citizens well.
Do you have any outside staff or advisors that you wanted to bring with you, or have you been considering any changes?
Yeah, I'm going to hire my husband to come advise me because he's been doing a lot of that. I have not. I have not had the opportunity really to think that through, and there are some really great people that I might tap if they're interested, and I just have not sort of researched that and made any kind of decision about that. Because this is my first day here, people.
It's not a typical job interview process. If you have an opportunity to meet with anyone at the office, if you were considering taking this job.
Yes, throughout because I needed to know more about the organization, and so I got a fairly high level overview of the entire organization. But that's not quite where I want to be. I want to dig down and meet people and understand office is managed and how the office is working and if they have such as audits, a work product, I want to see the quality of that, make sure that auditors are following standards. And that's going to take me a while, actually.
You have a lot of eyes that are going to be on you after what happened in the office.
Yeah.
Feeling about all of that.
Oh gosh, I grew up in John Day, Oregon. I mean, and by nature, I'm a pretty tough person, and some of the comments I just totally ignore, and and that's how I stay sane, or have stayed sane, at least at the city. And I don't know if it'll be any worse here or not, but I just want to do my job.
You've been appointed because of a resignation to what the governor's called a scandal. What was your reaction to that and she had taken resigning?
I was like a lot of Oregonians, I was saddened and concerned about that particular branch of government, and I'm very pleased with the folks that I've met. They're honest, they're fair, their judgment is good, from what I can see, and I just need to do my job and get in there and meet folks and see what work is being done, and see what's on the table that shouldn't be on the table, and bring back some stability to the organization. Well, I think my reputation is very helpful. I think that the fact that I'm a stranger to state government is very helpful. Um, I'm and truly I'm going to rely on advisors, and I'm not very good at taking bad advice if I get it. And moving forward, I hope to be able to reassure the public that this office is doing the work and doing it well, and that this Secretary of State really believes in Oregon, really believes in transparency, and I think that I'm the steady hand that will guide the Secretary of State's office from now on, or at least the next year and a half. And otherwise I wouldn't have taken this position. And that's about it.
Thank you all so much for your time. We'll get the secretary back over to the public service building.